So I'd just like to welcome everybody for coming tonight. Thank you so much. It's a chilly January night, but we're going to be talking about some exciting places to go to and a great company to go there with. My name is Michelle Gaudette. I'm the owner of Inspired Travel Adventures. I'm also the admin of the ladies only small group Travel Canada. I've been agent for travel advisor for 7 years now. I took my family backpacking to Peru for 4 months when my kids were 8 and 11. And when I got home, I wanted to help other people have extraordinary vacations and travels. So I got some training, opened up my company, and very soon partnered with G Adventures on my first group trip. So I've been working with them for 7 years now. Nuppy and I, the gentleman that's going to be talking to you all tonight, we met in 2020. We went to Peru together on a trip. He works for G Adventures and I work for my company. And they took us to Peru to see the impact that travel has in the area and what tourism can do in positive ways to the communities that they visit on their tours. So I'm very excited to introduce you to Nuppy, and he's going to get us started tonight. I'm just going to be muting everybody, and at the end, if anybody has any questions after the presentation, we'll be here for a couple of minutes to answer any questions for you. All right, Nuppy, do you want to start?
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen here. And I'm just going to put it on. Takes a couple of seconds before it shows up. Awesome. So thank
Oh, 1 sec, Nuppy. 1 sec.
Oh,
there we go. Sorry.
You're okay. Cool. You can hear me okay, Michelle?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So thank you for the introduction, Michelle. It's a pleasure being here with you tonight and talking to your wonderful clients. I know a number of you are supporters of G Adventures, and really excited to get some new supporters of the company itself, and kind of dive into some of the real traits that we offer as a company, and being a Canadian founded company at that too. So yeah, as Michelle said, we met in Peru. And I remember sitting next to Michelle on the bus, and obviously being very attracted to her personality. She was just so kind and lovely, and I'm really excited to be working as a BDM now with G Adventures with our wonderful agents across Ontario. So just to introduce myself, it's Nuppy Mystery, pronounced like Snoopy without the S, and you've probably guessed the accent by now. Yes, I am from Australia. I've been in Canada now for 8 years, and been with G Adventures for more than 6 of those years, and I've lived on 4 different continents, and North America being the 4th continent, I've decided to call my home, and really happy to be here. Obviously very cold, but getting used to that now by learning how to ski and go on some of these winter activities during those months of the long winters. It's a really cool place to be here in Canada, and what brought me here was love. I met my Canadian wife in Zimbabwe 8 years ago now, in Victoria Falls, and yeah, when our visas expired, we decided to make the big move. She moved back to Canada, and I took my plunge to come to Canada for the first time, and obviously fell in love with it. And I got to know our G Adventures and National Geographic guides as I was working for a nonprofit, and that's what drew me to the company. And really excited to be actually working for a company that makes a positive impact through travel. So I've traveled to more than 9 countries with G Adventures and loved every single one of them and what they represent. And I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit more about that. But firstly, I'm going to let you know the short version of how G Adventures. And in 1990, at the age of 22, and on 2 maxed out credit cards, Bruce Poontip started G Adventures, and it's a tour operator designed to bridge the divide between backpacking and mainstream travel, and to connect travelers with local people in the countries they visit. So if anyone's ever met Bruce or seen him, he doesn't age. This is what he looks like still today. And so he's very recognizable across all platforms, whether it's on social media or in real person, and a real nice guy to be in front of and be a part of his life too. So we fast forward now 33 years, and G Adventures offers more than 650 itineraries in over 100 countries on all 7 continents. So it's really important to note we're a Canadian founded company. We're 33 years in business. We've survived the pandemic, and we're excited to be sending our North American travelers back overseas to wonderful parts of the world, making a positive impact through travel. So it's really cool. Being Australian, Canadians are very similar in terms of loyalty to businesses owned in country and founded. The loyalty is really cool to watch, and that's why I love working with travel agents. I come from a small business background in Australia, and I love the entrepreneurial spirit and the survival spirit of the agents coming out of the pandemic, and the loyalty that you as clients have had to your agents. It's really special to watch. So why G Adventures? I'm going to just explain a few of the amazing things that we offer. So we're a small group tour company. We maximize at 16 people across the majority of our land itineraries. And what that means is a sense of camaraderie within the group. Everyone gets to know each other quite quickly, but also it's a smaller footprint in the destination itself, which is really important for us as a tour operator to have, that we're not an over-tourism tour operator. We want to ensure that everyone gets to know each other within the group, but that footprint and intimacy within the destination is noted while you're there too. All of our guides are local. So Bruce Poontip, the founder of the company, doesn't see himself as the most important person of the company. He sees our guides as the most important people of the company. They're the most customer-facing people, and that's why he calls them chief experience officers, our CEOs. And our CEOs, they're all local to the countries that you visit. So if you go to Jordan, you're going to get a Jordanian guide. If you go to Peru, you're going to get a Peruvian guide. So Iman, who's actually who's actually in the photo in the middle there, he's been with us for more than 18 years, and he's a Jordanian guide. And he's amazing. When I went to Jordan in 2019, he was my CEO, and I love food. So I always asked Iman where the best places were to eat, and I wanted to try hummus in the Middle East. And he took me, he took the tour group to a local place, and it's where the king liked to sneak out and eat hummus, because it was one of those places that reminded the king of his mother's hummus. So we went to this place. We had hummus, and it had the olive oil drizzled on top, and we had pita bread coming off the fire. Obviously, one of the best experiences I've ever had. And you go to Superstore now, and it's not the same experience, right? So it's really cool to have that first-hand knowledge of the destination. It's important, especially when you want to see a country through the eyes of someone who's lived it. And it's also great because we offer a lot of free time in our itineraries for you to explore through your own eyes, and having that first-hand knowledge allows you that confidence to and guidance that you might want to do some stuff on your own as well. Now, what's also important about having CEOs on the ground is that they know the best times to see the best sites. So that's me and my wife and I should say, at the Taj Mahal. Now, that's a real picture. That we were the first tour group to actually get into the Taj Mahal. We got to the lineup at 4 a.m. And we were there first. So everyone in our tour group actually got a photo with the Taj Mahal without anyone behind them. So that's a real treasured photo of mine. I never thought I'd ever be able to have that, but our CEO was adamant that we get up early, we get to the spot, we get our intimacy with the monument itself, and everyone got that photo. Petra, the treasury, which is on the right-hand side there. We were the first tour group with our National Geographic Journeys group. So you can see it's still a little bit darker, but that means that the sun was coming up. So we were the first tour group. I got to see the sun come up, and I got that amazing photo. So what's important is seeing the highlights, but also having that intimacy with the highlights that are those places that are quite busy, like Angkor Wat and the Taj Mahal, Petra. We want to ensure that as a tour group, you get the special time that's required for these amazing places. So we don't charge single supplements either. So we treat our solo travelers to the same benefits as the rest of the group. So if you're traveling as a solo and you want to book yourself onto a G Adventures trip, we'll just pair you up with another traveler of the same gender. We don't charge you a single supplement rate. We don't think that's fair. In saying that, if you do want a single supplement on your trip, you can opt into it. We allocate rooms for that and you would just pay the single supplement rate on top of the rate of the tour. We also have lifetime deposits. We know that sometimes in life things force you to cancel or delay your trip, and we want to ensure that the deposit is as flexible as possible. So if you do have to cancel your trip, the deposit just remains in your name until you're ready to travel again. You can use it to book the same trip or a completely different destination. You can even transfer it to a friend or family member if you don't see yourself using it, or you can donate it to our Planetera Foundation. So lots of options there for the deposit. We're also 100% guaranteed departure. So on all of our tours, we don't need a minimum to run. So you don't have to wait for 4 or 5 people to be booked on the tour before you can get excited to actually travel. So what that means is Michelle will book your trip. She'll book the flights, the insurance, and you're ready to go and get excited. That's important for us and our business model, that we have that commitment to our community partners when we travel. That even if the group doesn't fill up, we're still going to go. And that makes it a great sort of seamless process for you as a traveler, that you can book your flights and insurance with Michelle, book the tour, and you can open up a bottle of champagne at the end of the day to get excited, right? So everything we do is about building meaningful relationships with the communities that we travel to. So this is directly benefiting the people and places we visit, including Indigenous peoples, women, youth, anyone who's traditionally been marginalized or undervalued. We've also added our Trees for Days initiative, which means that for each day you're away on a trip, we'll plant a tree in honor of those days that you're away in places that require mass reforestation. So there's about 16 different countries that we've started with. We've actually backdated this to January as of last year, 2023. We announced it on World Tourism Day that this was going to be a new initiative for Geoventures. So right now we've actually got 1.6 million trees in the ground in these parts of the world. So it's really amazing, and it's a great way for you to stay connected with Geoventures. So you go on your adventure. We basically set in motion the bundles for the amount of times days you're away, and then through your Geoventures account and with Michelle, you're actually able to see these trees grow in your account. So you're able to see how many you have, how many you will have when you book a new trip. And it's a great way for you to be engaged with Michelle, but also G-Adventures too. So basically at G-Ventures, we're in the business of changing people's lives. That's basically the bottom line of what we do. We want to ensure that everyone who travels with us is actually benefiting through our travel. And we believe that travel can be one of the largest forms of wealth redistribution the world has ever seen. And we can do this through the power of small group travel. So I've mentioned a lot of the why. I'm going to show you the how.
When I would wake up in the morning, I would see the faces of my beautiful daughters. I had no identity and also had little income. I knew I wanted a change for me and for them.
There were many fears. What would people think of me? Was it safe? But I knew this was a great opportunity.
When they came into Azad Foundation, the way they talked, they hardly talked, some of them, the way they looked, the way they thought about themselves has changed completely to women who are now so confident, so sure of how they've been able to help their families. Women on Wheels is a social enterprise that provides livelihoods as professional chauffeurs to resource poor women, and on the other hand also provides safe and alternate transport options to women users of the services.
I learned to drive, I learned self-confidence and English, I learned about women's rights.
G-Adventures believes in responsible tourism. They have a lot of women clients who come into India to travel. They were looking for safe transport options for the women who come into India. They have supported us in terms of bandwidth, in terms of fleet size and the work that we are doing so that we can become a stronger organization.
Now I work full-time for Women on Wheels. I enjoy talking with the travelers. They feel safe with me.
I now have courage and confidence in myself. I hope women everywhere pursue happiness and freedom.
Now when I see the faces of my daughters, I know everything is going to be fine.
really powerful video to really showcase how everything works out at G Adventures, and how you as a traveler are benefiting these communities that otherwise don't see the income from travel. So what's really great about G Adventures, and the word adventure is we have 12 different travel styles. So we literally have something for everyone. We understand that adventure comes in all flavors, and everyone has a different type of adventure that they want to sort of encounter when they book a trip. So 12 different travel styles is what we offer at G Adventures, over 600 itineraries in over 100 countries on all 7 continents, and it really is no barriers in terms of ages. We've recently had a few 90-year-olds travel on our G Adventures expedition to Antarctica, also Jordan, and doing all the stairs to the monastery. So like I said, there's no limitations to the word adventure. If you're willing and able to travel and want to have an amazing time in a country with a small group, we'll take it. So what I want to showcase is some of those travel styles, and basically what we're seeing in terms of Michelle's business is a lot of itineraries to Europe. So I kind of want to showcase a unique way to travel to Europe, and that's through our local living itinerary. So it's basically you unpack once at a central base, and you stay with a local host family and settle into some of the world's most interesting places to basically discover life as it's lived every day. So on a reconnaissance trip to the Ecuadorian Amazon, Bruce Pruntip, this is back in the early 90s, he met a man named Delphin Pauci, and he was recommended to be met by another local, and Pauci lived in a remote community a couple of hours from Tina in the Amazon, and through a translator, Bruce actually explained that he wanted to have travelers come to this community and learn the indigenous methods and ways of the Amazonian people, and this actually launched a friendship that continues to this day. And I think Michelle, actually, when you were in Peru recently, you got to I think maybe you saw Delphin, maybe, or that might have been another time, but yeah, basically this inspired our travel style local living, and we have local living itineraries in Tuscany, Amalfi Coast, which is also in the summer and winter months, and we have local living Croatia, local living Ecuador, and the Amazon jungle, as I mentioned. So one that I want to showcase to you today is local living Sorrento. It's a really unique itinerary that covers basically unpack once, you start in Naples, you head to the agriturismo in Sorrento, and you explore different parts of sort of the countryside of Italy. I love this. I did this itinerary last year in October, and it was gorgeous. So you'll basically start your itinerary off in Naples, and you'll catch another like a glimpse of another side of Naples through the eyes of a newcomer to Italy. So this unique tour combines historic sites with landmarks important to the wide variety of migrant groups that call Naples home. So travelers are not just receiving a tour they'll never forget. They're also supporting an organization dedicated to help migrants integrate into a more accepting society. So it's called Migrant Tour. And you'll actually go through all these awesome markets and see a different side of Naples. You'll finish off with an amazing espresso at the end of it, and it's a really cool experience. This is what your view looks like from the agriturismo, so you can see the beautiful island of Capri a little bit further out there. Not that big mountain, though. There's one that's a little bit further out there, but it's a limoncello organic limoncello farm. It's been owned by the family since the 1400s, so it's generations. The family is amazing. This is some of the pictures of it. So you got the courtyard. That middle picture is actually the balcony where you can have your breakfast or just hang low. And just an example of one of the rooms. So very rustic and Italian. You're a bit off the grid, so you're away from the crowds, but you also can explore and make it as exploratory as you want, or you can make it as active as you want, or you can use this itinerary as a way to kind of just unwind and get away from the hustle and bustle of the Italian cities. Obviously, Italy's known for its amazing food. So you got Nonna there, who'll teach you how to make traditional pizza. And when you learn how to make pizza, eating pizza is not the same. The dough is an art. Yeah, they really have to knead it, and it's got this consistency that's quite unique. And then you'll put it into a traditional wood oven, and you'll eat it, and it's really nice. They'll cut up all the fresh toppings, and if you've ever had mozzarella or bocconcini cheese, it's very different. It's in Italy. It's actually very delicious. On top of that, you'll have pasta making demonstrations, so traditional Italian cooking classes, again with Nonna, who will actually show you how to make everything from scratch. And you'll be able to combine this with amazing wine and the limoncello on the property, and eat amazing food. So this is the limoncello demonstration. So everything is taken from the property. So it's very sustainable, and you can take one of those home with you. I've got one in my freezer that I opened up over New Year's, and reeled in a shot in the New Year, and it was delicious. So really nice to be able to take something back with me like that. Now, don't forget about the highlights. You'll get to see Pompeii and learn about the amazing history, and obviously the disaster that occurred with the volcanic eruption. And then you'll get to go to Capri. So this is an optional. You can either decide that you don't want to go to Capri and explore some of the other islands, but our CEO on the ground will be able to help you make arrangements, whether the group does it together or if you want to do something on your own or with your partner. It's entirely up to you. But Capri was quite unique, very, very bougie and awesome, very unique. I had a caprese salad there, and it was delicious. And then you can do the Walk of the Gods and experience some of the coast, which is really cool. It's there's different aspects and elevations and physical ratings for the Walk of the Gods, and we'll be able to let you know if you want to do it while you're there. You don't have to make the decision before you head onto the itinerary. And then again, this is the beautiful view. So if you look at that tree there, just below that is the property, so you can see the coverings for the limoncello orchards, and that's the beautiful view that you'll be met with every day. You get to see the boats coming through. You get to have your coffee in the morning, and then finish that off with wine at night. So a really unique itinerary. And like I said, we have Amalfi Coast, we have Tuscany. So in Tuscany, you stay on an organic vineyard in an agriturismo. Same with Amalfi. Amalfi Coast is a bit higher in elevation in terms of your viewpoint, and you'll do the Walk of the Gods from a different point, but again, very cool. All right, so another one I want to showcase to you is our Geluxe Collection. So we like to say this is adventure at its finest. This has been 33 years in the making, and essentially we're rolling out the red, or the purple carpet, I should say, for the grandest adventures on Earth. So we're really excited to bring this as our 12th travel style to our clientele, and bring to you an elevated style of travel and our most upgraded service level for the G Adventures travel styles that we offer. Let's take a look.
Introducing the Geluxe Collection. Adventure at its finest. A new line of elevated adventures.
So why the collection? Sorry about the T in the middle there. That shouldn't be there. These are they're not just a new category of premium active trips. They're curated. They're a curated ensemble, I should say, where every detail and every experience, where you go, what you do, the moments you share with the local community, so our G Adventures for Good initiatives, they've all been expertly hand selected by the G Adventures product team, and our product team has been with us for a very long time, so they're really excited to have this project rolled out and be very successful. These trips are they're meticulously pieced together to take travelers deeper, to give you more access and ultimately a richer, more meaningful experience. And collection, the word collection captures the care that we required to make that happen. So very excited to bring this about to you. So essentially just some of the really unique points of the product itself. So comfort's at the core of the itinerary. So perfectly paced itineraries with elevated accommodations and dining experiences. We say your OMG stay or oh my gosh or oh my God. one standout accommodation on every trip chosen for its history, design or surrounding experiences. Handpicked CEOs led by locally based chief experience officers chosen for the years of experience and expertise. So Yinya, who's on the bottom left there, he's been with us for 14 years. So these are CEOs who've been with G. They've got a very high net promoter score, which is what they require to remain successful as a CEO with G Adventures. And that's hundreds of amazing reviews from our travelers. So you'll be met with these amazing CEOs on the ground when you travel on the Geluxe editions. And everything we do is built for community tourism. So showcasing our G for Good initiatives to ensure that the money stays in destination as is what we require when our clients travel with us. So meaningful interactions with local communities. So our destinations we're really excited to announce 16 countries and 28 trips with the Geluxe edition. So Peru, Costa Rica, Mexico, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, so Southern Africa, Morocco, North Africa, Jordan, the Middle East, Egypt, North Africa still, Italy, Greece, so a bunch of Europe itineraries, Japan, Nepal, Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia, so South Asia and Southeast Asia. So there will be more, but for now, these are some of the amazing destinations that we've offered. I'm just going to showcase a few of them to you. So we got Greece, Athens, and walking in the Greek islands. So it's a 10-day itinerary, Athens to Santorini, and you can make it an 8-day without Athens if you wish to. And the itinerary can be whether you want it to be a little bit more active or a little bit more relaxing. Some of the highlights: enjoy a walking tour of Athens with visits to ancient Agora and the Acropolis. So I loved Athens when I went last year, actually, or 2 years ago it might have been. They have one of the best hop-on, hop-off buses I've ever been on, but Athens is just this amazing city with incredible history around it, kind of like Rome, but it's a little bit quieter. And then you got all this amazing food around you at the markets. You got all these little central town squares that you can travel into. And then you can experience the taste and flavors of Greece on a food tour in Tinos, discover the history of Naxos on a full immersion food tour featuring Byzantine churches and Citron distillery and tastings. Sail and snorkel in the heart of the Aegean Sea, visiting caves near Antiparos. So you will be by the beautiful Aegean Sea, and you'll be able to experience some of the sailing there if you want to head out and do a bit of snorkeling and whatnot too. So just some of the oh my god moments. So this will be your oh my god day. This is one of the options. It's called the Caldera Trail, and it's gorgeous. So you can see it's kind of your off the grid kind of trail. One of your sort of your Instagrammable moments that are unique, something you can take back home and say, oh, wow, this was amazing. And then you got this awesome accommodation. This is your oh my god stay, Mr. and Mrs. White Hotel in Tinos. So another unique accommodation. So just at the back there is the beautiful Aegean Sea. We've also got an awesome itinerary that's 10 days, Florence to Rome, walking the vineyards of Tuscany and Umbria. Also 8 days without Florence if you wish to do that. So just some of the awesome highlights here. Visit the historic Center of Pienza, a Renaissance city commissioned by Pope Pius II. Tour the cellar and vineyard of Molino di Grace with a farmhouse lunch overlooking the rows of grapes. So if anyone loves their wine in this group, Italy is known for its amazing varieties. One of my favorites is Sangiovese, if anyone likes that variety too. You can hike from the tiny village of Strove along the ancient Via Francigena. And then you've got your oh my god day. So this itinerary will start in Florence and end in Rome. So very easy to get flights organized through Michelle too. Now this is the villa. It's called the Hotel Villa Venucci, and it's in Città della Pieve, and it's gorgeous. And this is kind of your walk into the township. So you've got beautiful scenery around you. Again, finding unique ways to explore this beautiful part of the world while still remaining off the grid and doing it in a unique fashion. I think that's kind of the scope on the itineraries that people are looking for when they travel to Europe now, especially it's so close to people, to Canada, I should say. You've got a lot of Europe at your disposal, kind of an 8-hour flight, which is really nice. And then we've got an awesome itinerary: Vietnam, Hanoi, Halong Bay, and trekking Pulang. This is 11 days, and it starts in Hanoi and ends in Ho Chi Minh City. And some of the highlights: the motorbike city tour of Hanoi. So if anyone here has been to Hanoi or wants to go to Hanoi, it's an amazing city with a little bit of French colonization. So there's a fusion of amazing foods, and some of you probably had some of the food here in Canada. You can do an overnight junk boat in Halong Bay, which is really unique. So beautiful limestone caves that you can traverse through, trekking rice terraces of Pulang, and a cooking class in Hoi An. So everyone here probably loves Vietnamese food, and it's always a nice experience to be a part of, learning the ways and methods of these ancient cooking teachings. You've got your Oh My God day. You can opt to do an Old Town mangrove kayak and spend some time in the beautiful mangroves. And then you've got your OMG stay, Natura bungalows in Pulang. So this is a beautiful view. Again, unique and something a bit off the grid for you to explore some of those communities around. We've also got our Costa Rica North and South National Parks, Wildlife and Hot Springs. So it's 15 days, starts in San Jose, and ends in San Jose. And just some of the highlights there: you can look at going zip lining through the forest canopy, and hiking and wildlife excursions on cloud bridge reserves, a walk to a waterfall for a swim followed by yoga. So amazing. Costa Rica has something for everyone, whether it's you want to relax and spend some time on the beach, or you want to do some more of the adrenaline activities, or if you're looking at more wellness side of things, whether it's yoga or spending time in hot springs, there's something for everyone. And this is just an example of someone who wants to do something more adrenaline based. This is like a rappel down a waterfall in La Fortuna, and then one of our OMG stays in the Rio Celeste Hotel in La Fortuna too. So just again, another amazing accommodation that will be met with amazing views outside of it. We've also got our Peru Lima, the Inca Trail, and the Amazon. So G Adventures is the largest tour operator on the ground to be in Peru and running trips. We've also been awarded as one of the best tour operators to take people on the Inca Trail too. And I know Michelle has done a number of private groups to Peru, and we both fell in love with it when we were there together. It's an amazing destination, and if you ever speak to Michelle about her experiences there, she'll definitely speak very highly of it and how G Adventures runs it too. So many different highlights. We've actually elevated the accommodation for anyone who wants to do the Inca Trail now. We've the accommodations will be lodging as opposed to tenting. So for anyone who doesn't want to stay in a tent for 4 days, we've actually elevated those accommodations to lodging. So you'll have a bed and you'll have hot showers, which is amazing. Again, active with comfort is kind of what people are looking for now. So this is an itinerary that will take you through the amazing Sacred Valley and then spend some time on the Inca Trail. Now, there's 3 options for our Peruvian itineraries. We have the Inca Trail, we have the Lars Trek, or we have the Cusco Stay. The Cusco Stay is the option to take the train instead of do any hiking at all. There will just be a short hike to Machu Picchu, and it's beautiful, the train. You have gorgeous 360-degree views because it's all glass. So you can look above, you can look to your side, and you'll just see amazing views everywhere you look, really. The Lars Trek is a little bit quieter. So if you're looking for a shorter hike, it's 3 days as opposed to 4. And you spend 1 night with the Concani Peruvian community. The Inca Trail will be the longest trek, where you'll spend 4 days and you'll spend a little bit more time seeing some of the sacred sites. So different ways to do it. And here's some of the beautiful OMG days. So you've got the Templo de la Luna down, which is an amazing hike that will take you down to Cusco, and then you'll finish off in the markets and be rewarded with amazing food. The food is incredible in this part of the world. If you've ever had Peruvian food, there's so much choice. Where for all dietary requirements, I myself are more vegetarian based. There's hundreds of varieties of quinoas and potatoes. If you've ever seen that documentary called Uncharted, Gordon Ramsay, the chef, he travels to different parts of the world and learns indigenous methods of cooking. The first season, the first episode, he goes to Peru and he goes to the Sacred Valley and he learns how to make different methods of food, specifically potatoes and quinoa. So it was really cool to watch that and see that after being to Peru, but incredible food. And then you'll stay in the Amazon forest, so you will be off the grid here, and you'll be met with amazing experiences that we offer with our naturalists in the Amazon, whether that's taking skiff boats through the arteries of the Amazon or doing nature walks and spending some time seeing wildlife through the eyes of the indigenous people of the land, which is really cool. So this is one of the accommodations that will be in the Amazonas. All right, so that showcases a little bit of Geluxe, and like I said, we have 28 itineraries in 16 countries, so it's a really cool announcement to be bringing to your attention. And this brings us to our collaboration with National Geographic Journeys, which we've actually had since 2015, and essentially the reason for the partnership is that National Geographic wanted to set a line of trips for a market that was more affordable. They do have a set of trips that are in the expedition, the Lindblad range, that exceed sort of your $40,000 to $50,000 range. So we've brought these set of itineraries to showcase the G-Adventures initiatives and show our sense of alignment with National Geographic's purpose of expertise in research and exploration. So it's our most upgraded service level in terms of the National Geographic product, which is great. And it's an exclusive set of 73 itineraries that we've now announced, which is really cool. Take a look. Love that trailer. It always gives me the chills to watch it. So what makes the National Geographic journeys unique is the hands-on exploration. So perfect for those who wish to connect with the world through photography, wildlife, conservation, history, and culture. There'll be exclusive journeys, highlight moments, so you'll uncover unique experiences that won't be found on any other G-Adventure series. The accommodations are convenient locations for easy exploration. Again, most upgraded service level. And what's really cool about the National Geographic product is there'll be pre-trip articles that will be sent to you. So when you book through Michelle, she'll be able to filter this content to you, and it's relevant to the destination that you'll be traveling to. So you'll get excited like you did when you got the National Geographic magazines or the VCR tapes in the mail, as I did when I was a kid. That always made me really excited and happy. There'll be a specialized National Geographic CEO. So again, they have to meet the requirements of a tenure at G Adventures and go through a specialized National Geographic vetted training to become one of the CEOs for the product. Now, with the hands-on exploration, it's really important to note you're actually going to meet National Geographic researchers and explorers as part of the itinerary that specialize in photography, wildlife, conservation, history, and culture. So if you're going to be doing Central Europe, you're going to go along the Berlin Wall. You're going to go along there with a philosopher and a historian, and you're going to learn things that you didn't otherwise think of to read about or understand of that history in that part of the world. If you go to East Africa, you're going to meet researchers who are doing conservation work behind the scenes. So it's a really elevated experience when you get to meet these people behind the scenes and have them as part of your itinerary. So a lot of the questions we get about our National Geographic accommodations is what does it mean when they're upgraded? So we select their accommodations based on how well they represent the unique character of the destination. So if you're going to go to Jordan, you're going to take a 4x4 through Wadi Rum, and you're going to stay in the desert camp with the Bedouin community. So it's a really cool experience, and the camp is quite gorgeous. So you're actually off the grid. You wake up, you can stay up at night and watch the amazing stars and wake up to beautiful red earth in the morning. The Cresta Sprayview Hotel, like I said, I used to live in Zimbabwe. I stayed at this hotel many times. It's amazing. It's only a 4-minute walk to Victoria Falls itself. So they call it Sprayview because of the wet season. In the wet season, the mist actually goes over the lodge, and it's quite cool. And in Tortuguero National Park in Costa Rica, you'll stay in a rainforest treehouse. So accommodations based on how well they represent the unique character and of the destination you're traveling to. So when you think of National Geographic, you often think of the wonderful continent of Africa. And I just want to showcase one of those itineraries to you today. We have 18 National Geographic Journeys itineraries that span Southern and East Africa. And the one that I want to showcase to you today is the Safari in Kenya and Tanzania itinerary. It's 14 days. It starts in Nairobi and ends in Arusha, which is in Tanzania. And the flights are great for either of those locations. You can fly into Nairobi and fly out of Moshi, which is Kilimanjaro Airport. So on this epic journey, you'll have the chance to explore some of the finest national parks in East Africa. So Kenya's Masai Mara to the Ngorongoro Crater in Tanzania. And for any avid birders, which I know there's a lot of avid birders in Ontario, the bird species here in Ontario are very cool. You can head to Lake Nakuru, which is a lake that is often in itineraries. It's very exclusive to National Geographic. It's a birder's paradise, and you can seek out lions, leopards, and elephants in the wilds of the Serengeti. And in between safaris, you'll learn about local customs on a visit to our Maasai communities and share a meal with a family in the vibrant Mtwabi village. So connection with culture, connection with wildlife. And what I want to show you is it's a huge chance to see the Big Five and the Great Migration. So it's an opportunity through May right till the end of the year to witness the migration. The migration being its heaviest across tenure in Tanzania from June through to the end of October, and then trickling into November and December. So I should mention the Big Five is actually the buffalo, elephant, rhino, leopard, and lion. So if anyone who was wondering, but those are usually the five that people really want to photograph when they head to this part of the world. So on this specific itinerary alone, we keep it to a maximum group size of 6 people. We want to keep it to the size of the vehicle, the amount of people that can be on the vehicle. And it's an open vehicle. We want to ensure that everyone's getting an unobstructed view on the safari drives. And also we want to keep it small to create intimacy when we enter the communities too. There'll be 2 guides. You've got the CEO, you've got the guide as the driver. There's also sometimes a 3rd guide who'll sit on the front of the vehicle there. You can see a chair. And they usually get off the vehicle. They look at fresh footprints, they look at fresh poop or scat. You might follow a pride of lions, you might follow a leopard, or you might be really lucky and see the painted dogs, which is a really cool sighting. So that elevated experience of actually being in person, having that National Geographic way of viewing wildlife is really cool. So you'll actually meet National Geographic explorers too. So you'll have a Kenya Wildlife Service conservation talk. So you'll get to gain a deeper understanding of the issues surrounding poaching and elephant conservation, and rhino conservation. And this will be a lecture done by an accredited speaker from the Kenya Wildlife Service. So the major topics will usually be elephants, martial eagles, and pangolins, so animals that are heavily poached. And they conduct, and you'll learn how they do animal census. And basically, the KWS strives to sustainably conserve and develop Kenya's wildlife and its habitats, as well as create programs to enable communities living in wildlife areas to benefit from wildlife revenue. So wildlife mitigation is really important to National Geographic. So you actually get to see all the work that's being done behind the scenes to ensure these communities are benefiting through travel and ways of mitigation to prevent issues surrounding poaching and things like that. So it's really cool. So you get to meet the chairman of the KWS. He's a renowned conservation. His name's Walter Kaipaton, which is really cool. That's an awesome experience. Then you'll make your way to Serengeti, where you get to go to the Serengeti Wildlife Research Centre. So if anyone here has seen that documentary Big Cat Diary, these are the people actually behind the scenes who provide that research to the documentary and that narration, which is a really cool thing to be a part of. So you get to meet the researchers and scientists and learn about some of the projects going on at that point in time. So it's relevant to what is happening in that time. They might have collared a cheetah as seen in the photo. They might have collared a lion. So they've darted an animal, they've collared it so they can scope out its territory over a certain period of time. So you learn how that's all done and get that elevated sort of experience of education as you would expect on a National Geographic itinerary. So basically, it's really exciting to be a part of. I've done a couple of National Geographic itineraries, and I've always loved the product. I've grown up with it, so to be a part of it, it's a really unique way to travel. So you actually get to see the Maasai village and in a very unique way through a G for Good initiative. So the combination of the products is to have G Adventures run the operations and bring out G for Good initiatives and National Geographic to create the itineraries and bring their National Geographic researchers and explorers. And it just creates this beautiful partnership where everyone benefits through the travel. So in Tanzania, 95% of people rely on cooking with wood and coal. So women and girls spend hours walking to collect wood every day, making them vulnerable to assault and unable to use their time to go to school. So indoor smoke from open fire stoves causes cancer, emphysema, pneumonia, blindness and burns. And you as clients will be able to take a guided tour of these villages and meet the women that have been trained as stove engineers. So they've been trained as engineers to create chimneys that allows the smoke to exit the boma, which is a traditional house in the Maasai village. So you as a traveler will actually be able to have a hands-on experience of learning this and understanding the sort of modern ways of the Maasai as it stands now. It's a really cool experience. Take a look.
The Serengeti, raw, beautiful, up close and personal. It's the perfect blend of adventure, discovery, and of course, a bit of relaxation as well. But that's just part of the epic journey. The other part takes you somewhere unexpected, to the heart of the Rift Valley, where new friends only grow around. Here, you get to experience the local life beyond the national parks, the life of the Maasai. Simple, beautiful, and very real. You learn about community, about support, and about challenges. You learn about cook stoves. Traditional cooking practices here lead to household air pollution, which lead to some pretty severe health problems. Your visit makes a difference, and you get to see this firsthand. With each trip here, ground partners design and install clean and efficient wood-burning stoves in people's homes. The community is involved from start to finish, with all materials manufactured in the area. This stimulates the local economy and empowers people, especially women, who are the ones building the stoves. While you may have come to Africa to explore the Serengeti, you're also making a real, tangible difference along the way. This is a stove, and this stove has the power to change a family's life, and travelers like you make it happen. So thank you. Changing the world is easy. All you have to do is have the time of your life.
Very Very cool. So again, putting the why and the how into our trips. And I mentioned unique and characteristic accommodation relevant to the destination. This is an example of glamping, as I say. So you'll have your own ensuite accommodation. And it'll be a glamping tent, and it'll be in the middle of the savannah, which is very cool. So you'll be there in a tour group around, and they'll obviously be armed. Guards on standby, so they'll walk you to your accommodation. Sometimes you'll be sitting there as this lovely lady is, and you can have a drink, and you might be able to see a herd of elephants come by. Sometimes in the morning, when you're a bit closer to the rivers or the lakes, you might have hippos who come out and graze in the morning, and you usually hear them before you see them. So that's a really cool experience. But again, bringing you that unique accommodation to the destination. So that brings me to our Great Adventure sale. Right now we have up to 25% off. Just take a quick gander here. So it's a quick 15-second video there. We've got a Great Adventure sale on right now, which is our biggest sale of the year. And starts off the year, which is quite cool. Sales from January 1st to the 30th. This is for travel between now and the end of December, or the middle of December this year. So a huge booking window that you can look at some itineraries with Michelle and find some great destinations that you've been wanting to tick off your list. We've got some highlighted destinations below. We know that a lot of people are looking to get warm, so now's a great time to make use of that promotion through Michelle if you're looking to get away. That brings me to the end of my section. I'm gonna transfer you over to Michelle, who's going to talk a little bit about what's happening in private groups in her world and her business. Just let me know when you want me to change the slide after this, Michelle, if you want to talk a little bit about what's going on here.
All right. Yeah, I host women's travel groups. I also hope non-gender travel groups. We have been to Spain, Peru, Ecuador. Our next coming trip is Colombia. Colombia holds a special place in my heart. I went in 2018. It was my first trip with G Adventures. I leave for Iceland next month on my 10th trip, so I very much enjoy traveling with G Adventures. This trip to Colombia is, it takes the Columbia Express itinerary and then it builds on it. It adds some special adventures along the way that I had last time I was there, and I wanted to add to the itinerary. We start off in Bogota. We spend some time in coffee country. We go to Salento. We do some hiking where there's the largest palm trees in the world. They're the tallest. They're 60, 70 feet tall, and it's just a really amazing place to visit. After that, you spend some time in Medellin, and then we continue on to Cartagena. Our groups are normally 12 to 16 ladies traveling together. We just got back from Belize in November, and we had an amazing time in Belize. So Colombia is going to be happening in November of 2024. We are leaving the 9th and we'll be returning on the 18th. If you'd like some more information about that, or I'm going to be hosting another travel talk next Wednesday that's specific about Colombia and our adventure there and traveling together as a ladies only group. I'm going to put the link in the chat. And then that way, if you're interested in registering, you can do that there. But I'll also send it with a copy of this presentation to everybody in the next couple of days. I'm also working on another group travel experience that's going to be in May of 2024. And it's the Explore Cape Town and Kruger National Park itinerary with National Geographics and G Adventures. So that's going to be coming up. Please keep an eye out in the group. Nuppy and I will be hosting a travel talk in May for that trip. So yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. I love what I do, and I love helping other people to explore and empowering women to travel and see the world and know that you don't need to specifically have someone there holding your hand. I've done a lot of exploring on my own, and I also love doing it as a group, and I love doing it the way that G Adventure sets it up, because you have that time to go and explore on your own, but you have the safety of coming back to a group and connecting with other people. And then these women's only itineraries are meant to create even more of a bond and to meet other ladies with the same interests as you, because I find once you travel together, you build friendships and you really get to know people, and it's just a great way to experience the world together. So yeah, I also run a boutique travel agency. Like I said, I've been around for 7 years now. I do a lot of this kind of travel. I work with G Adventures a lot, and then I do a lot of custom itineraries. Spain, Peru, Belize are some of the places that I spent quite a bit of time in, and I love to share with other people. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to Nuppy for such a great presentation tonight. We have a couple minutes left. Does anybody have any questions for either one of us, or is there anything anybody would like to know? No, I'm not seeing. You can put it in the message chat box if you don't want to come on camera. We'll just give it another minute or two. Nuppy, do you have anything else for tonight?
Oh, thank you for allowing me to present in front of you all today, and it's been awesome working with Michelle, and I'm really excited to build our partnership and get you all on a trip. I know it will be a great time.